off Immersive Sims, like I said, love them want a lot more. I wanted to ask you, are there any type of like figures, like six scale figures that you've always wanted? Because off top, I have a few. I'm gonna say mine real quick. No, I was just talking.
Okay.
I was talking for a long time. You go ahead.
Okay. All right. Give me a second because I actually have it bookmarked.
Okay, so I'll tell you mine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So off top, I'm gonna just say one, and when you're ready, tell me, because I'm gonna just start off with the ones that I want off top. I want three specific Darth Maul figures. One of them is the Phantom Menace six scale figure. I want both all of these are from Hot Toys. There's like season 7 Clone Wars, but like realistic version of Darth Maul, and then there is a what is a solo Darth Maul. I want those three Darth Mauls. I want all three of them. And
I've seen those.
I would sit them all next to each other in pretty much their most famous poses from each, like piece of content. Like Darth Maul when he's holding a lightsaber with his hand behind and stuff like that. I wanted some Darth Maul figures. If you found yours, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So my first one.
I should say this with like also like if money wasn't like if money didn't matter, what figures you would want.
Oh no, I don't care if money doesn't matter because I'm getting one of them. The other one I'm so sad about is sold out and has been sold out for the past 6 years, and I just found out about it 2 years ago. So that's the one I'm gonna go over first. Is the Ben Kenobi Mythos statue. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi. The best way I'm gonna describe it the best way I can. I might send you the link to it and see if you can put a picture up on it because it's kind of hard to describe. But it's Obi-Wan Kenobi with interchangeable heads. One has a younger Alec Guinness head. If you don't know who that is, he played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original trilogy. And then one is an older Ewan McGregor head with like graying hair. And it's him in his Jedi robes, a really tattered Jedi cloak with a hood, like a sleeveless Jedi cloak with a hood on it. But of course he has sleeves on his Jedi robes. He's wearing fingerless gloves. He has goggles around his neck. He has a backpack. I'm looking at it right now because I'm trying like my best to describe it. He has a backpack. What'd you say?
I'm looking at it too. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome, doesn't it? It is a backpack. It has a cycler rifle, which is basically a slug thrower. A slug thrower are basically like more advanced versions of our firearms, but like of course they're not as advanced as blasters, but they're more advanced versions of our firearms. And the cycler rifle is basically a sniper rifle. It's what like a 50 BMG would be in the Star Wars universe. And so there's a cycler rifle on his back. They're used by Tusken Raiders. He has a lot of Tusken Raider weapons on him. He has 2 different types of gaffy sticks from Tusken Raiders. He has, I think that's like a mini moisture evaporator on the side of his backpack, a sleeping roll attached to his backpack underneath it, and then he has Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber and Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber attached to the backpack, like hanging from the side, which is really cool because there's a fan theory, like a really popular fan theory a while back, because in Return of the Jedi, Luke, there's a cut scene from Return of the Jedi where Luke is basically making his second green lightsaber before he goes to Jabba and all that stuff. And he goes back to Ben Kenobi's hut on Tatooine. And so people were, like a lot of people were wondering for a lot of years, well, where'd he get the kyber crystal to make it? Because lightsabers are powered by a kyber crystal. And the color of the kyber crystal determines the color of the lightsaber. So a really popular fan theory was that Obi-Wan kept Qui-Gon's lightsaber all those years, and that Luke got it from Obi-Wan Kenobi's old hut on Tatooine and fashioned it after the notes that Obi-Wan Kenobi left. Now, if the statue were to be taken into canon, that would be true. And that's like the coolest thing to me. He also, of course, has Anakin's lightsaber on him because, of course, he said Anakin would have always wanted Luke to have his lightsaber. So he's Anakin's lightsaber, and he also has his own lightsaber that you can like put in his hand and everything. It's literally like it's probably the coolest statue I've ever seen ever. I love it, and it was like $400. I would have, without a doubt, have bought that statue, but it's completely sold out. And I plan to like track down someone that has this statue one day and buy it from them. But like, oh my god, I'm so mad that it's sold out. Like, there's nowhere to buy it now unless you find somebody that has it. And the other one is Big Bad from the Big Bad Toy Store. It's by by Hot Toys, and it hasn't come out yet. I don't know when it comes out. I think it comes out March maybe. but it is Miles Morales from Spider-Man Miles Morales. And it's posable. It has a bunch of different costumes. You can put the backpack with Spider Cat in it on him. You can put on the winter outfit where he has like the little ankle warmers, the scarf, the hat, the ear warmers. His regular outfit also has like a bunch of little Venom attachments. It looks really cool, and I really want this figure too. And it's probably going to be very expensive. It also has a bunch of different heads and hands that you can change. I definitely plan to get this. Like I'm 100% planning on getting this statue. I don't know how much it's gonna cost, but I'm gonna get it. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very glad you asked about that because I've never talked about like the 6 scale figures that I want.
So
and I'm really happy I actually got the chance to talk about that. So.
For me, some of them are figures that I hope are made in the future, and some of them are ones that obviously exist. So off top, the next one I want, like I said, I wanted those 3 different versions of Darth Maul. I also want 4 different Ahsoka figures, or at least 3. So far there's only one, and they're making a new one, which is most likely going to be the Mandalorian version of Ahsoka. So there's one Hot Toys season 7 Ahsoka that's out there that has, like, you know, when Hot Toys makes Clone Wars version characters, they do the like realistic version so that it looks right if you sit it next to other Hot Toys Star Wars figures. So that one is already, it exists. I will want that, and also the new one that's about to come out that's most likely going to be Rosario Dawson. And the one other one, or maybe 2, is the one from when she started out in Clone Wars, and her second costume in Clone Wars. Her second costume in Clone Wars, and her in her costume from Rebels. I would want those 4 Ahsoka figures. 2 of them don't exist. One of them is about to come out, and one of them is already out. And after that, there's a life-size Darth Vader. I want it.
A life-size Darth Vader?
I'm sure you've seen it 1,000 times before, but you know that.
I probably have.
There's a life-size Darth Vader. I want the life-size Darth Vader.
That reminds me, back before, like way before Disney bought Lucasfilm, do you know what Skywalker Ranch is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I went to Skywalker Ranch when I was a really little kid. And I got to stand next to the actual Darth Vader suit that they used in the movies. I have like 3 or 4 pictures of that. My mom has them somewhere. And I also got to take a picture next to the original Boba Fett costume. Those are like the coolest moments of my life. So when you said life size, that's immediately what my mind went to, was seeing Darth Vader right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I remember being like a little bit scared about like standing next to Darth Vader. But
I'm looking at the price of the Darth Vader life size. Actually, it's expensive. It's $8,900.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, but yeah, I want it. I want to have a life size. First off, I don't want to own a bunch of figures. I just want to own a bunch of, like, a few really nice ones that are connected to some of my favorite things. So,
Same here.
Like I said, my favorite Star Wars characters are Ahsoka, Maul, and Anakin. I also want 2 Anakin figures, one from the prequels, and then him in the arm. There's a version that they have of him in the armor from the beginning of Clone Wars. I would want those 2, and then the life-size Darth Vader, and maybe a 6 scale Darth Vader to go with the other 2 Anakins. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would want. I also, the Miles Morales one also was it wasn't on my list in my notes, but it was one that was always just on my mind. Like, I think I want that.
But you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, like that thing, it looks awesome. Like, it looks so awesome. Yeah. But also, it reminds me.
I just want to say real quick, I also want a Xenomorph figure because I like aliens. This is one of my favorite movie franchises. Not like, there are life-size versions, but I don't want one of those. I want a small, the 6 scale one. That would be crazy.
A life-size alien figure, that would freak me out. No, I would not want that. I would not want that at all. But that reminds me, there is a company, I don't remember what the company is called, and it's starting to make me mad that I don't remember what it's called. But they have some really cool, like, DC figures. You know, I love Black Canary, I love Nightwing, and I love Batman. They're super expensive, like $400. But they have, so I'm probably not going to get them because, like, out of my list of, like, $400 statues that I want, they're not in there. But There are some really cool ones. They have one where it's like Batman from Batman Hush, and you can take off. You can change the head so it's not. He doesn't have the cowl on, so it's like just Bruce Wayne, and he has like a bunch of different hands, and like one of them has like or not. I think maybe like three batarangs in between his fingers, and on the other hand, you can put his grappling gun in there. I'm like, yo, that is like the coolest thing ever. And they have something similar for Nightwing, and they have just like a regular statue for Black Canary, but like I would want those too. Those are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 scale figures are just so cool. I like them.
They're awesome.
They're great.